In the mysterious city of Nocturna, where shadows danced on ancient cobblestone streets, a tale unfolded that sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to listen. The city was a labyrinth of narrow alleys and Gothic architecture, concealing secrets that had been whispered through the centuries. One fateful night, a young woman named Elena found herself wandering the dimly lit streets after a late shift at the obscure bookstore she managed. As she passed by the ancient cathedral, a chilling breeze whispered through the air, carrying with it a scent that made her heart race. Unbeknownst to her, the city held a secret that would soon entangle her life with darkness. The next morning, rumors spread like wildfire about a mysterious aristocrat who had arrived at the opulent estate on the outskirts of Nocturna. Lord Demetrius Blackthorn, they called him, a figure draped in shadows and adorned in garments from a bygone era. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones, sharing tales of the peculiar events that transpired in the grand mansion nestled on the hill. As the moon cast an ethereal glow over the city, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Her dreams were haunted by visions of crimson eyes and whispered promises that sent shivers down her spine. A name echoed in her mind, Blackthorn. In the heart of Nocturna, a clandestine society of vampire hunters, known as the Order of the Silver Stake, had long kept the supernatural forces at bay. Led by the enigmatic Van Helsing, they sensed a disturbance in the delicate balance that had protected the city for centuries. The city's history was intertwined with the dark pact made by its founding fathers, a pact that ensured the protection of Nocturna in exchange for an ancient bloodline's allegiance to the shadows. The arrival of Lord Blackthorn threatened to unravel the carefully woven tapestry that bound the city's destiny. Elena's path collided with that of Marcus Van Helsing, the last scion of the legendary vampire hunting lineage. Together, they delved into the city's hidden past, unearthing forgotten truths and long-buried secrets. As they navigated the labyrinth of tunnels beneath Nocturna, they discovered an ancient chamber where a vampiric council had convened for centuries, orchestrating the city's fate. The truth unfurled like a sinister tapestry, revealing a prophecy that foretold a cosmic convergence, a celestial event that would empower the vampires to transcend their limitations. Lord Blackthorn sought to harness this power to ascend to a godlike state, reshaping the world in his image. The stage was set for a climactic confrontation between the forces of light and darkness. The fate of Nocturna hung in the balance, and as Elena and Marcus prepared for the final battle, the city itself seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. Unbeknownst to them, a greater darkness loomed on the horizon, an ancient force that had been awakened by the impending convergence. As the celestial event approached, the shadows deepened, and the air crackled with an ominous energy. The mystery of Nocturna was far from over, and the true origins of the vampires remained veiled in the inky darkness that clung to the city's soul. The city held its breath, waiting for the inevitable clash that would decide its destiny, a destiny entwined with the blood-soaked history of its immortal inhabitants. As the celestial event neared, Nocturna became a battleground where reality and the supernatural collided. Lord Blackthorn's mansion transformed into a fortress of darkness, guarded by creatures that seemed to defy the laws of the mortal world. The very fabric of the city pulsated with an ethereal energy, and whispers echoed through the cobblestone streets, foretelling an ancient prophecy that promised both salvation and damnation. Elena and Marcus, armed with knowledge from the Vampiric Council's chamber, embarked on a perilous journey through hidden catacombs and forbidden crypts. They sought artifacts of immense power scattered across the city, relics said to hold the key to tipping the balance in the impending battle. The artifacts, however, were guarded by spectral guardians and arcane traps, remnants of a bygone era that tested the resilience of those who dared to challenge fate. Amidst their quest, Elena discovered a cryptic diary written by a long-forgotten ancestor. The pages spoke of forbidden love and an illicit affair between a vampire and a mortal, a tale that mirrored her own burgeoning connection with Marcus. The diary hinted at a secret bloodline, a lineage that held the key to unraveling the ancient pact and breaking the cycle that bound Nocturna. Meanwhile, in the heart of the Vampire Council's chamber, a rift between factions emerged. Some vampires, disillusioned by Lord Blackthorn's radical ambitions, sought to align with the humans to preserve the delicate balance that had kept Nocturna hidden from the prying eyes of the world. Others embraced the impending convergence, eager to transcend their immortal limitations and ascend to a higher plane of existence. The celestial event drew nearer, casting an eerie glow over Nocturna. As the final confrontation approached, a third faction emerged from the shadows, an ancient cult that worshipped the very darkness that birthed the vampires. Their motives remained shrouded in mystery, but their influence rippled through the city, leaving an unsettling aura in their wake. Elena and Marcus, along with a small group of loyal allies, prepared for the ultimate clash against Lord Blackthorn and the converging forces. The artifacts they sought held the power to unravel the Vampiric Council's pact, but unlocking their potential required a sacrifice of unimaginable proportions. As the night of the celestial convergence loomed, the lines between ally and enemy blurred, and the destiny of Nocturna hung by the thinnest of threads. The air crackled with anticipation, and the city's pulse quickened in sync with the impending cosmic event. Unbeknownst to all, a dormant force awakened beneath Nocturna, an ancient entity that predated even the vampires. Its hunger for power and dominion eclipsed all, and its eyes, glowing with malevolence, fixed upon the city as it prepared to unleash a darkness that could consume everything in its path. The stage was set for a cataclysmic showdown, but the true depths of Nocturna's secrets remained veiled. As the celestial convergence cast its ethereal glow over the city, a looming question echoed in the minds of those caught in the web of fate. Was this the end or merely the prelude to an even darker chapter in Nocturna's enigmatic history? The celestial convergence reached its climax, bathing Nocturna in an otherworldly glow that danced across the towering spires and twisted alleyways. The clash between Elena, Marcus, and their allies against Lord Blackthorn's forces unfolded in a symphony of chaos and supernatural fury. As the first rays of the celestial event touched the city, the artifacts in Elena's possession resonated with an ancient power. Symbols etched in long-forgotten languages glowed with an ethereal radiance, and the very air hummed with the energy of potential liberation or damnation. The choice between breaking the vampiric pact and unleashing an unknown force upon Nocturna weighed heavily on their shoulders. Meanwhile, the rift within the Vampire Council escalated into a bloody struggle for dominance. The dissenting factions clashed in the dimly lit chambers, casting shadows that mirrored the turmoil in the heart of the city. Unseen by mortal eyes, the ancient cult seized the opportunity to advance their cryptic agenda, manipulating events from the shadows. Elena, guided by the cryptic diary and the ancestral whispers embedded in her bloodline, delved into the city's catacombs in search of a forgotten chamber rumored to hold the key to the true origins of vampires. The deeper she ventured, the more the shadows seemed to come alive, whispering secrets of a primordial force that predated both humanity and vampirism. In the midst of the chaos, a mysterious figure emerged from the darkness, a cloaked figure with eyes that reflected the celestial glow but harbored an abyss of ancient knowledge. This enigmatic being, known only as the Watcher, observed the unfolding events with a detached curiosity, silently influencing the destiny of Nocturna. As the confrontation reached its zenith, the city itself seemed to groan under the weight of the cosmic forces at play. Buildings trembled, and ethereal echoes reverberated through the air, carrying the voices of long-forgotten entities and forgotten souls. The convergence was not merely a celestial event but a catalyst for an ancient reckoning. Elena, standing on the precipice of revelation, unlocked the hidden chamber's entrance. The air within the chamber was thick with an ancient, dormant power, and symbols inscribed on the walls whispered forgotten truths. The origin of vampires intertwined with an ancient curse, a curse that bound their existence to an eldritch entity lurking beyond the veil of reality. Just as the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, a chilling realization dawned. The convergence was not a celestial alignment, but a cosmic ritual that aimed to awaken the dormant force beneath Nocturna. Lord Blackthorn's ambitions were merely a pawn in a game that transcended the mortal realm. The city, now a battleground between rival factions, faced an impending apocalypse as the ancient cult's plan unraveled. The Watcher, observing from the shadows, held a key to the mysteries that eluded both vampire and hunter alike. The final act of Nocturna's dark saga awaited, and the destinies of its inhabitants hung in the balance as the cosmic forces reached a crescendo. As the Watcher's eyes glowed with an unfathomable wisdom, the true question lingered. Would the unraveling secrets save Nocturna or plunge it into an abyss from which there was no return? The celestial glow intensified, casting long shadows that concealed the city's fate, leaving the ancient mysteries to echo through the eternal night. The celestial glow engulfed Nocturna in a blinding radiance, casting long shadows that danced like specters in the ethereal light. The ancient force beneath the city stirred, responding to the cosmic ritual initiated by the unwitting hands of Lord Blackthorn. As the ritual reached its zenith, the ground trembled, and an otherworldly howl echoed through the city. Elena, Marcus, and their allies, unaware of the true nature of the convergence, fought valiantly against the encroaching darkness. In the hidden chamber, the symbols on the walls flickered with an ominous resonance, and the air itself seemed to thicken with impending doom. The ancient cult, manipulating the strings of fate, reveled in the unfolding chaos. The Vampire Council, torn asunder by internal strife, failed to unite against the impending cataclysm. Nocturna, a city steeped in secrets, faced the inevitability of its own demise. As the celestial event reached its apex, the ancient force beneath Nocturna stirred to life, its malevolent presence seeping into every corner of the city. Buildings crumbled, and the once proud spires of Nocturna now stood as haunting silhouettes against the radiant sky. Elena and Marcus, realizing the magnitude of their unwitting actions, sought refuge in the dwindling sanctuaries that remained untouched by the encroaching darkness. The Watcher, still cloaked in mystery, observed the unfolding tragedy with a somber gaze, bearing witness to the consequences of ancient curses and cosmic machinations. The city, once a haven for the supernatural, now lay in ruins. The streets echoed with the distant wails of the damned, and the celestial glow faded, leaving Nocturna shrouded in an oppressive darkness. The once vibrant heartbeat of the city fell silent, replaced by an eerie stillness that gripped the remnants of its soul. As Elena and Marcus clung to each other in the desolation, the Watcher approached with a heavy heart. With a voice tinged with sorrow, the enigmatic figure revealed the truth. The cosmic ritual had awakened an ancient entity that hungered for the essence of life itself. Nocturna, caught in the crossfire of supernatural ambitions and mortal struggles, had become a mere vessel for an insatiable darkness. The Watcher, the last vestige of a forgotten era, faded into the shadows, leaving Elena and Marcus to face the bleak reality that unfolded before them. The city, once a tapestry of secrets, now lay in ruins, its fate sealed by the hands of those who sought to control its destiny. In the aftermath of the celestial convergence, a haunting silence settled over Nocturna, broken only by the mournful winds that whispered through the skeletal remains of its once grand architecture. The shadows, now devoid of intrigue and mystery, clung to the remnants of a world that had succumbed to the relentless march of ancient forces. As the stars dimmed in the sky above, a chilling question lingered in the desolate air. Was this the end of Nocturna's tale, or did the remnants of its shattered legacy carry the seeds of a darkness that would endure through the eons, waiting to resurface in another chapter of the cosmic drama? The answer remained hidden in the void, leaving behind a city that had lost not only its secrets but also its very soul.